Hello, Hornet Nation. My name is Theta, and I'm here with three lovely ladies from the Beta Eta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, President Chandler Brown, Vice President Jemiah Choice, and Lead Coordinator Aaron Carver. So can you ladies tell us about the inspiration behind Forever 22 and how this event came to life?
Yes, of course. Honestly, the Forever 22 event really happened last year. This is our second annual event. We started last year, and we were just really trying to figure out a way to honor our founders and really trying to make it very important, very significant. So we came up with 22 stations. Each station is dedicated to our founders. Some are donation stations and some are interactive stations.
Okay. Each station represents one of your 22 founders. So can you share an example of how one of them is being honored with the activities?
I can speak on that. So, for instance, Myra Davis Hemmings, that's one of our founders, and she was like she's the reason as to why we're here today, why Delta is even a sorority. So, that station for her is called Thank You Myra D for my sorority, and it's basically just a nice little breakdown of the sorority, a little history, nothing too big, but something just basic info, our founding year and everything like that. So, that's kind of how we did it.
This seems really close to your heart. So can you tell me what planning this event has been like for you all?
I guess I can kind of expound on that, but we just wanted to. So the sorority requires for each of their chapters to have a public service initiation that they do for their Founders Day. For our Founders Day, I'm sorry about that. So we wanted to come up with an event that could impact the campus and the students as well as the surrounding community, and we wanted to figure out the way to make that impact the most effective that it could be. And so we came up with this, and that we realized that we could bring these items to, places that needed it in this community, as well as supplying it to students here.
And how does this event relate to the core values of Delta Sigma Theta?
I would say just, with scholarship, sisterhood, and service, and with our 5-point programmatic thrust, we hit every single point within our 5-point programmatic thrust, and also just our principles of scholarship, sisterhood, and service. Like, again, going back to one of our stations, can't think off the top of my head, but I'm thinking it's Florence Letcher Thomas. We have a station dedicated to scholarships and internships and getting students, the correct websites and, just getting them some help with some of our sisters who are they always have internships and they're always applying for scholarships. So we have stuff like that, dealing with scholarship and then sisterhood. We have other chapters such as the Montgomery Alumni chapter. They come and help us. Last year it was from Jacksonville State University. I can't think of the chapter's name, but Jacksonville State University, they also donated. So that's the sisterhood part of it. We had our pro fights from spring 2021. They came, they helped us last year. They supported us in everything that we did with the event last year. And then with service, again, just giving back to the Montgomery community and also even our own community. So for example, last year we had a station that was dedicated to bringing snacks and water for the Mighty Marching Hornets, and we donated that to them. And this year we're going to be donating. We're going to be using that same station, but just donating to Carver High School instead this year. So again, this is just very near and dear to our heart because we wanted to, in planning this event, we just wanted to hit every single thrust, and then also just going back to our 3 principles: scholarship, sisterhood, and service.
Can you tell me, were there any challenges or memorable moments from planning this event?
I can definitely think of one. Because we have so many founders and so many creative people who created this organization, the chapter got smaller this year. So we had a challenge, trying to figure out how many sisters were going to be at each station, but then we realized that it's just so important for us to just make sure that we delegate and we, take time to really understand the importance of all the stations. So we just used our resources. We have sisters coming back in to help us make sure that this event can happen. And like Jemiah said, using MAC, which is the alumni chapter, they're coming in to make sure and assist us that we're able to get this community service event possible.
I really love that. Can you tell me what makes Beta Eta chapter so unique in your approach to Delta Sigma Theta?
Yeah, well, I know.
Beta Eta
we can start off. We call ourselves Beta Eta non-grader because we have the facts. We're the only chapter in all of Delta Sigma Theta to have 2 national presidents. So with that regard, we are looked at for a lot of events we are a collegiate chapter, but as you know, Delta is grad and collegiate. But even grad chapters look to us for inspirations. I even heard of a alumni chapter, I think in Florida, they got the inspiration from our Forever 22 event. Now they want to do something that can impact the community as well. So we really just want to uphold that standard of Beta Eta as being non-grader, but we also want to bring everybody else along with us so we can expand our impact.
I love that. Beta Eta no grader. That's actually really cool. Can you tell me any advice you would give to students aspiring that are inspired by this event and who want to get more involved in leadership and service?
Ooh, I guess I can go on that for a little bit. Just when you are just thinking about going into leadership and also even going into service, just always be genuine and be intentional with what you're doing. And I can definitely speak for the entire chapter when I say that everything that we have done thus far, we've done it with genuineness and intentions, pure intentions, and we just wanted to be able to give back to our community. So just always, I would definitely say those two, just thinking of those two things, be very genuine and intentional with what you are doing. Doesn't matter if it's leadership, community service, anything, just with anything in life, be very genuine and intentional, because in the end, you never know who you'll need in the future, or you don't know who's watching you and how what you're doing right now in this very moment could set you up for the future. So I would definitely say that.
And if you could meet one of your founders today, what would you ask or say to them?
I know one thing. Just being a collegiate and knowing that they founded this great organization as collegiates, I would ask them, how were y'all able to do that and still be such an impact within the world? Because they're not only just known for their work in Delta, but they're known for impacting the world in so many other areas of their lives as well. So just kind of asking them how they balance all of that is a young sister out here. So
I think people underestimate the work that it takes to run a chapter and to be in a sorority. Definitely. The work is endless. It's a lifetime commitment for real. It's long days, long nights. So how in the world did you guys do this? You're starting a sorority. We could take it back to the Women's Suffrage March in 1913, where they were on the front lines fighting for women while also being in college. That took a lot of bravery, right? So I just want to know, what was it that kept them going? What was it that kept them keep going when people were trying to stop them and knock them down? How did they persevere? Because they are really amazing people.
And sorry if I could just add here. I mean, we're talking about times where women didn't have rights, especially African American women didn't have rights. So the fact that they even fought to be at the front, they were at the front of the Women's Suffrage March, and that was a big deal because yes, it's for women, but of course they're putting Caucasian or white women in front of us. So we fought to make our way to the front, and we made our mark at that event. And so
just to piggyback off that, they were 21, 22, just like we are right now. And again, how? Because I don't know, and just being in that time, you founded the sorority January 13th, 1913. 2 months later, you're at the front lines, marching for your rights as an African American woman in 1913. That is surreal. So I would just definitely, I think the number one thing we'd be asking is how. And I would just also just tell them, I admire their courage and their just perseverance through it all, because again, you are already a woman, but you're adding on the fact that you're black and you're educated. So that's a triple threat right there. So definitely how, because again, it's hard. It is very hard. So that's what we would probably say is just asking how, getting advice, and just taking that whatever advice they gave us and running with it.
Well, I thank you all, ladies, for joining me this afternoon. I wish you all the best on your event.
Thank you.
Yes.